That's dirt, nigga. That's dirt. Hey.
But you can't be composed when a man's talking to you like that. Like, you know, I mean, me and you, who couldn't fight our way out of a wet paper bag, shouldn't allow another man to talk to us like that.
Ridiculous, and you see these scuffles and all this nonsense at press conferences, and that is where it goes wrong.
Shakur Stevenson goes after Teofimo Lopez following the media gathering, and the cause is shocking. Lopez insulted Stevenson's mother, violating a boundary no competitor accepts easily. The fury on Stevenson's expression wasn't performed. It was genuine, individual, and memorable. This wasn't only attention-seeking. This was feeling overflowing into pandemonium, creating one of the most intense media gathering sequences boxing has witnessed in recent times. Supporters are going absolutely crazy.
Hey, that's my mother. Where my mother at? No, somebody touch my mother. Come here. No, don't touch me. Where's my mother?
Hey, find his mom. Find his mom. Find his mother now.
Eddie Hearn speaks directly without filtering here. He's alerting everyone present. Teofimo chose to insult Shakur's mother, and the fury was immediate. Hearn's statements described the stress flawlessly. This wasn't planned theatrics. It was genuine feeling. Intensity prepared to detonate. Shakur's response wasn't only anticipated. It was unavoidable. In the boxing community can't stop discussing about the pandemonium he created.
Pushes your buttons, when someone shoves you like that, when someone starts talking about your mum, no man, like, look, I'm a complete pussy, right? If you start talking about my mum and all this other stuff, I'm going to have a pop at you. I can't fight, but I don't care. I'll have a right go. And you're talking about the world heavyweight champion. If you start talking to him like that, if you shove him like that, he's going to react.
Frank Warren addresses the pandemonium with harsh honesty. This isn't street fighting, it's boxing, and only the competitors belong inside the squared circle. The platform theatrics might be exciting, but Warren reminds everyone it's intended to be managed, planned, not careless fighting. Still, the stress is clear, and supporters are already discussing about how this pre-competition intensity will detonate once the opening bell sounds.
Shove. Well, this is not a gang fight. You know, the only two who'll be fighting are the boxers, and save it for the night. They don't get paid. They don't get paid to fight before the fight.
The discussion emphasizes the genuine pandemonium of fighting sports. This wasn't only a confrontation. It was a stressful preview to battle. Competitors confronting before the competition increases excitement, energizes supporters, and generates immediate attention. While regulations are being challenged, the theatrics creates excitement, reminding everyone that in boxing, feeling and hostility are equally a component of the performance as technique inside the squared circle.
Fighters on stage that are face-off? Of course not. Yes, it's over the line. You shouldn't be doing it. They shouldn't be putting hands on each other. But it is the fight game, and we've seen far worse. We've seen guys get in fights. We've seen people throw dollies in this game, in the combat.
The commentator identifies the sequence everything changed once physical interaction reaches the expression. A media gathering transforms into explosive theatrics. It's no longer only performance. Acknowledgement and stress meet. Supporters are discussing, social platforms are active, and experts are contributing opinions. This single action increases the competition, guaranteeing a matchup where every strike will hold the significance of that pre-competition confrontation.
Everything that, because that's a little bit naughty. Because I know it's all, you know, fun and games at press conferences, but when you lay your hands on another man's face, whether there's an egg in it or not, you've laid your hands on his face, and that takes it.
Johnny Nelson speaks frankly. He labels it careless, irresponsible, and nearly embarrassing. Conducting actions on competition morning is beginner behavior, not professional boxing. The organization is now urgently attempting to determine how to address it, and supporters are expressing disappointment. Stevenson's pre-competition hostility just humiliated Lopez and transformed a media gathering into a widespread show.
This morning, man, to make the way how he's done it, you know, on the morning of a fight, it's just wrong.
It's dangerous, and the board are now in a situation where they think, shit. So
Simon Jordan reminds everyone that boxing has consistently had its intense aspect, but this was still surprising. Direct confrontations like this intensify stress immediately, making supporters question control versus performance. It's disorderly, complicated, and yet it contributes intensity to the situation, leaving everyone questioning how far Stevenson and Lopez will challenge limits before the starting bell.
An egg on his face. I mean, how many times have we seen boxers do things that they shouldn't do? You know, we saw Derek Chisora spit on Vitaly Klitschko.
We didn't need that.
I'm not offended by it.
Duke McKenzie offers no regrets. He labels it a moment of brilliance. And he's not incorrect. In current boxing environment, performance is equally as significant as technique. And anything that gets the audience discussing is valuable. Stevenson's action at the media gathering wasn't careless. It was strategic pandemonium created to control attention and capture focus. This isn't a boxing instruction. It's performance, genuine theatrics, and mental tactics all combined into one explosive sequence. Supporters exist for these confrontations. Experts examine every action, and the excitement for the matchup increases dramatically.
I thought it was a stroke of genius, personally. I don't see there's any harm in it. You know, this is the entertainment business that we live in now, and if you're not going to be entertaining...
Teofimo Lopez creates the stress with a confident statement, establishing the foundation for a complete pre-competition battle. His statements are a combination of warning and planning, suggesting self-assurance, management, and strategic pandemonium. Lopez presents himself as the director, the individual who perceives action where opponents are inactive, controlling the story before the matchup even starts. This isn't only confidence. It's mental battle intended to disturb Stevenson and excite the viewers. Every supporter and expert now has to consider not only technique, but mental strategies. Lopez's media gathering actions guarantee this matchup is beyond strikes.
Trying to attest to right here, man. So, honestly, nevertheless, man, I see it as, look, when they presented the fight with Devin and all that, a lot of things that came in my way, but it all happened in perfect alignment. Devin didn't have no motion. As I was saying earlier, Shakur has motion. He did his thing. He looked outstanding against William Cepeda at the Louis Armstrong Stadium. And this is what you guys need. This is what boxing needs. This is why we're here. We're here to take...
Shakur Stevenson speaks openly without restraint. His self-assurance is on complete exhibition, approaching threatening. He presents himself as unreachable, a level superior to Lopez, and establishes a mental challenge before the bell even sounds. Supporters are attracted by his confidence, experts examining the boldness. And the media gathering now appears like a preview to a tension-capturing matchup. Stevenson's statements are beyond excitement. They're a confrontation, an alert, and a declaration of superiority. By claiming his exceptional standing openly, he's increasing the investment.
Beat him and shut him up, bro. Tio not on this level. Tio is a high-level fighter, but he's not on my level. I'm an elite level fighter, and come January 31st, I'm gonna show it.
Paul Smith's response demonstrates the entertaining, almost cinematic aspect of competition pandemonium. While many disapprove pre-competition actions, Smith recognizes skill in the sequence, a combination of entertainment, playfulness, and mental tactics. His amusement emphasizes the unpredictability and theatrical character of contemporary boxing, where performance and advantage meet. Supporters on social platforms are already distributing footage, experts arguing its effect, and the competitors' standings are being formed outside the squared circle. This sequence, minor as it may appear, creates excitement, constructs narratives, and reminds everyone that boxing isn't only about strikes.
we expect that from Chisora. I'm not going to lie, when it happens, I laughed my head off. I absolutely laughed my head off. I did too. I thought it was quite poetic. I thought what happened
Smith
was...
presents it flawlessly. This is boxing, genuine and unedited, where pandemonium and performance meet. While nobody officially approves competitors violating limits, these situations only increase the excitement, transforming a typical media gathering into a tension-capturing show. Stevenson's actions didn't only make a declaration, they changed the story, pushing everyone from organizers to supporters to pay attention. The atmosphere in the venue transformed immediately and social platforms exploded, examining every action, expression, and statement. Smith's perspective describes the contradiction of the competition industry. It's harsh, unpredictable, and intensely competitive. Yet, supporters desire these unplanned sequences that contribute theatrics into the activity. Now, all focus are on the competitors to observe how they transfer this stress into the squared circle. This is beyond performance.
To speak for the casual fans, do we condone it? I mean, in boxing terms, should that happen at a head-to-head? Of course not, but these things do happen. This is the fight business, and it's just made it even bigger, and we wait to see what happens next.
Jack Catterall contributes a realistic viewpoint to the pre-competition chaos, emphasizing the concealed struggles competitors experience behind the situations. Weight control isn't attractive. It's planned, harsh, and frequently threatening. While supporters concentrate on strikes and excitement, Catterall reminds everyone that competitors make severe commitments to compete at their peak. In the situation of Stevenson and Lopez, every provocation, action, or statement holds additional significance, and the emotional and physical cost is genuine. This perspective contributes understanding to the show, stressing that boxing isn't only about theatrics. It's about readiness, strength, and strategic challenge. Catterall's statements highlight that acknowledgement for the competitor's profession is crucial even during pandemonium. Supporters may observe confrontations or actions, but behind the situations...
Well, everybody's weight situation and weight making situation is unique to them. There's weight classes for a reason. I know some people are going to two extreme lengths. I don't know. I can't comment on it. I wish him to be safe and well, like I wish every fighter. But that's the.
Adam Smith captures the unpredictability of competition evening. No quantity of excitement, forecast, or media gathering actions can duplicate what occurs when competitors enter into the squared circle. Plans, strategies, and anticipations disappear under the intense attention and loud audience. Stevenson and Lopez have constructed stress for periods. But Smith reminds supporters that on competition day, everything transforms. Instant choices, excitement, and genuine feeling determine results. The pre-competition pandemonium, the actions, the mental strategies. All of it reaches its peak in those crucial sequences when the bell sounds. Every expert, every supporter, every organizer is left wondering because nothing in theory guarantees success. This is boxing at its most exciting. Uncertainty, theatrics, and explosive competition combine, leaving observers on alert.
You don't know what's going to happen because it's different on that day than any other day. It just sort of scripts go out the window.
Eddie Hearn addresses directly to the center of the developing situation. When competitors are in each other's presence, provocations, challenges, and actions aren't only minor disturbances. They're triggers that create emotions and intensify stress. What we observed at this media gathering wasn't only a demonstration of hostility. It was a mental preview to the struggle that will develop inside the squared circle. The constant provocations and actions are created to challenge concentration, calmness, and control, and supporters are already on the boundary of their positions, expecting who will react first. Hearn's perspective verifies this won't be a typical matchup. It's going to be intense, emotional, and powered by genuine anger. Every expression, every action will hold significance, and the audience's atmosphere will increase it all. By the moment the bell sounds...
When you're getting poked like that in a face-to-face, after a while the temper goes, and it's good. I think it's going to be that kind of fun.
The analysis examines the pre-competition conflict with a focused perspective for theatrics and effect. A action, a movement, or even indirect confrontation can immediately transform the story, transforming a typical media gathering into widespread attention. Social platforms exploded with footage, entertainment, and passionate discussions, demonstrating that the competition industry succeeds not only on strikes, but on stress, challenge, and show. Professionals and supporters similarly are arguing who will manage their feelings under stress. While the competitors are already participating in a mental strategic match that reaches far outside the squared circle, that minor confrontation was a trigger, but the genuine intensity is arriving on competition evening when endurance, technique, and fury meet. The situation perfectly emphasizes contemporary boxing's contradiction, physical competition combined with critical performance.
I mean, I don't mind fighters pushing and shoving. Probably shouldn't be slapping each other at the face-off. Security did a pretty good job of corralling it while they could, but I thought it was just an open-hand slap.
The stress between Shakur Stevenson and Teofimo Lopez has officially arrived maximum levels. Every action, every statement, every confrontation has established the foundation for a matchup that's beyond only technique. It's mental battle, reputation on the boundary, and genuine feeling about to detonate in the squared circle. Supporters are discussing, social platforms are exploding, and professionals are already arguing who will react first when the bell sounds. This isn't only a matchup. It's a narrative being created with every pre-competition sequence, every widespread footage, and every heated interaction. Now it's your moment. What do you believe? Who emerges successful on competition evening? Share your forecasts, mention your connections, and prepare for a confrontation that guarantees excitement from the starting bell to the closing strike.